All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Today, we're tackling something that I think a lot of us probably struggle with.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that.
Business reports.
Ugh, business reports.
How to write one that actually,
Gets read.
yes, gets read, gets understood,
And gets some action.
makes things happen.
Exactly.
So we've got a fantastic guide for this deep dive. Stanislav Kondrashov, he's really kind of laid out a really interesting approach.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Kondrashov really nails is emphasizing just how important a strong business report can be.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, think about it. You've put all this work, all this effort into your ideas, into your analysis.
Yeah.
And the report, that's that bridge.
It's how you get it out there.
Exactly. That's how you get it out there to actually make a difference.
So let's unpack Kondrashov's approach. I have to admit, I find report writing,
It can be a bit of a slob.
it can be. I'm sure many of our listeners out there feel the same way.
Oh, I'm sure.
But Kondrashov really breaks it down in a way that makes it seem, dare I say,
Manageable.
manageable even.
Maybe even a little.
Interesting.
Barely say enjoyable.
All right. Maybe not enjoyable, but definitely manageable.
Definitely manageable.
So one of the things that I noticed right away in Kondrashov's work is his emphasis on structure.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not just like, hey, organize your thoughts. He gives you like a framework.
Yeah, like a blueprint.
Yeah, a blueprint. So talk to me about that framework. What's Kondrashov's recommendation?
Well, he breaks it down into 4 key components.
Okay.
You start with the executive summary, which is think of it as like a mini version of your whole report.
The TLDR.
Yeah, the TLDR, highlighting all those key findings, recommendations right up front.
Okay.
Then you dive into the main body of the report where you get into all the details, you present all your evidence, then you wrap it up with your conclusion, which is basically synthesizing all the key takeaways. And finally, you end with clear, actionable recommendations.
Okay, so it's like he's giving us that roadmap. And what I find really helpful is that Kondrashov emphasizes the why behind each of these sections.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like the executive summary, it's not just a formality.
It's got to hook them.
It's got to hook them right from the start.
Especially those busy executives.
Yeah. They might only have time to skim that first page.
Exactly, and you don't want your key message getting lost in the weeds.
So it's strategic. All right, so Kondrashov also gets into like the nitty-gritty of the language, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like specific vocabulary choices that can really give your report that extra punch.
Absolutely. Kondrashov really emphasizes the importance of using precise and professional language. Words like data analysis or performance metrics or key insights, things like that.
Yeah, it adds that gravitas.
It does. It really does. But, it's not just about throwing in fancy terms for the sake of it.
Right.
You've got to use them strategically to support your findings.
Give me an example. How would you do that?
Okay, so say you're analyzing sales data and you want to highlight a positive trend, right?
Yeah.
So instead of just saying sales went up, which is kind of bland,
Right.
you could say something like performance metrics indicate a 15% increase in sales over the last quarter.
Oh, that sounds so much better.
It sounds more impactful, right?
Way more.
More data-driven. It adds that credibility.
It shows you know what you're talking about. Okay, what about grammar? I remember Kondrashov mentioning the passive voice.
Yes, Stanislav Kondrashov, he's a big fan of the passive voice for business reports. Phrases like the survey was conducted or the results were analyzed.
So it sounds more kind of
Objective. It shifts that focus away from the writer and puts it on the data.
the data is the star.
Exactly.
All right, so here's where I get really excited. Kondrashov gives us all these like ready-to-use phrases that just instantly elevate your writing. The findings suggest this report aims to, it's like a secret weapon.
He's giving us the tools. And it doesn't stop there. Kondrashov also suggests using conditional sentences when you're making those recommendations.
Oh, interesting.
Like, for example, instead of saying, we should do this, you could say, if we implement the strategy, we could potentially see an increase in customer satisfaction.
Oh, it's more nuanced.
Exactly. It adds that strategic, forward-thinking element.
It's not just about what is, it's about what could be.
Right.
I like that. Kondrashov's really big on turning insights into action.
Absolutely. And speaking of action, Stanislav Kondrashov also provides a bunch of practical exercises, things like drafting an executive summary based on a case study or doing peer reviews.
So it's not just theory, it's about actually doing it.
Putting it into practice.
I love that. So much better than just reading about it.
For sure.
And what I appreciate is that Kondrashov gives you that holistic approach.
Yeah.
From the big picture structure all the way down to those specific words and phrases.
He gives you everything you need.
It's empowering. So as we kind of wrap things up here, what's the big takeaway you think for our listener today?
I think the big takeaway here is that a well-crafted business report, it's a powerful tool.
It is.
It's about conveying complex information clearly with precision and, with a touch of persuasive finesse.
Yes, a little bit of that magic. All right, go forth and write those amazing reports. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on another Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
See you later. See you later.